Happening now at 5:30, the latest in the ongoing debate about marriage equality here in New Mexico. It looks like we're going to have to wait for the state Supreme Court to clear up the confusion on gay marriage, because yesterday the justices refused to consolidate current and future gay marriage lawsuits to go ahead and streamline the process of getting a definitive ruling statewide on whether these marriages are legal. The court did not say why it is not consolidating the lawsuits. Now people on both sides of the issue are trying to get a legal decision that will affect the entire state of New Mexico. Most think the state Supreme Court will eventually have to decide if same-sex marriage is legal here. But there is another option as well, constitutional amendment that would give you, the voter, the final say. Governor Susana Martinez is one of many pushing for that, but it's still unclear if it'll even be brought up and actually get out of the roundhouse in January. Now, if the issue does go to the state's high court at some point, some think they already know what's going to happen.
They take it on and they give the thumbs up for same-sex marriage. I think that's pretty much going to be the end of the discussion.
And every time legislators have tried to define marriage one way or another or get a constitutional amendment on the ballot, they have failed. Two more counties, Valencia and Taos, started issuing licenses to same-sex couples yesterday, marriage licenses, that is. Bernalillo County has issued a total of 186 licenses to same-sex couples since Tuesday, and San Miguel County will start issuing them as soon as it gets its gender-neutral license forms. Now, even if the state Supreme Court were to override the judge's decision, a UNM law school professor says marriages that take place before any legal decision would be valid. Attorney General Gary King reiterated that yesterday, saying these 64 marriage licenses issued to gay couples in Sandoval County back in 2004 are still valid today. Mr. King says only the courts can decide otherwise, and that is on a case-by-case basis. All right, 5:32, it is the second week of school for students at UNM. Some freshmen are now in a new pilot program to help them get up to speed. And yesterday, our Samantha McDonald got to sit in on some of these classes to see how they are going. She is live at UNM right now. So tell us, Samantha, what are these classes all about?
So Matt, these new types of courses are being offered as an alternative to remedial courses. And professors tell me they hope that this program is the key to keeping kids in school. Now, the new stretch and studio classes are designed for students with ACT scores 18 and below. Professors say there is a low graduation rate among freshmen who are required to take remedial courses, which do not offer credit for graduation. This stretch and studio courses will allow freshmen to jump straight into English 101, but extend it over the course of 2 semesters. One student in the studio course describes the program as a tight community.
We're comfortable here knowing that if we do have questions, we have that extra studio time.
Well, professors tell me they will continue to assess the progress of these students throughout their college career. Matt, back to you.
Looks like a pretty good program there, Samantha. Thanks for taking us to it. Professors tell us they plan on enrolling about 200 students for next summer's stretch and studio program. Well, did you know New Mexico draws in more than $90 million every year on cigarette taxes? But our Kim Holland found out some business owners try to skirt the law and pocket that money instead. Our crews went undercover on special assignment to find this gas station near Albuquerque selling packs of cigarettes without a sticker on the bottom showing that the vendor paid the state tax. A white sticker indicates that New Mexico collected $166 per pack. A green sticker right here is issued to Indian reservations, which are tax exempt. The owner of a Chevron station sold us 2 packs of cigarettes for the same price that we'd pay elsewhere, so he was pocketing the money that should have gone to the state. That money goes to things such as public safety and roads that helps all of us out. The owner of the Chevron admitted he was just trying to pocket some extra cash.
And how did you get those cigarettes?
Oh, some people from different location.
They sold them to you?
Yeah.
And then you sold them to other people?
Yeah.
Now, if you'd like to find out what the state did about these illegal cigarettes, make sure you tune in tonight at 2 Casa Fox at 9 o'clock to see the entire story, or head to our website anytime, krqe.com. You can watch it there. Well, Governor Susana Martinez's administration has a big plan to overhaul New Mexico's health care. Basically, the plan is to revamp the health care program with the goal of making New Mexicans healthier while controlling Medicaid costs here. Nearly 90,000 people here who don't have insurance right now are set to enroll in Medicaid next year because of the big federal health care law. The state's Human Services Department also plans to have a new Medicaid program in January to help match people here with coverage for their medical needs. You can find out more about it. They just launched a new Facebook page. Well, a new transportation list shows some roads in Duke City badly need to be improved. The Department of Transportation and a national research group came up with the 50 much-needed improvements to the roads all around the state. In Albuquerque, it mentions that stretch of I-25 between Gibson and the Lead Coal exits, the areas around UNM, CNM, and the stadiums. Also on the list, a bus rapid transit system that would create a route through Albuquerque using light rail style stations. Now, as you can imagine, none of these projects are going to come cheap.
That's our job right now, is to keep everything at a point where when we do get funding for these projects as they come up in the future, that they haven't deteriorated to where it would cost us more to actually rebuild them.
If the DOT can find funding for the projects, the boom in construction would create a lot of jobs in the state. That would be some good news as well. One of the most iconic vehicles of the 20th century now at the end of a long and winding road. After 63 years, oh, say it ain't so. The Volkswagen bus, or the so-called hippie van, will no longer be built. No airbags and new safety regulations mean the last 600 VW buses will be produced sometime before December. The first line of the famous buses cost just $2,200, but that was back in the 1950s. And obviously $2,200 is a lot different then than it is now. Still going to see a lot of these on the road. Love them. All right, American Airlines expected in bankruptcy court a little bit later today to talk about its proposed reorganization plan. The airline is trying to merge with U.S. Airways, a move that I don't think would be wise. It would not only save it from bankruptcy, but would also make it the largest airline in the world. The U.S. government recently filed antitrust lawsuit challenging that merge. A lot of people say it would mean fewer flights, less choices for us flyers, and yes, even higher ticket prices. Well, family and friends of Tara Chavez held a memorial in her honor in Los Lunas yesterday on what would have been her 32nd birthday. Levi Chavez, a former Albuquerque police officer, was found not guilty of killing her and making it look like a suicide last month. Yesterday, Tara's family released pink balloons into the sky and sang happy birthday to her. The folks who organized this say they really wanted to honor Tara's parents, the Cordovas.
We just want it to be something to enlighten them, to say, you know, that they are supported and that Tara meant something to everybody that is here in one way or the other.
The Cordovas did issue a statement on Levi's push to get their wrongful death civil suit dismissed, saying they have no comment about that, and instead they're interested on focusing on their daughter's memorial.